and yoga teacher and author of the Smoothie Book. I'm here to talk to you every week about nutrition topics. This week is all about mint. This was my visual aid for the introduction there. Mint. We're going to talk about the background. We're going to talk about a lot of information about mint, ways mint is used, health information, and then we're going to make a really great sounding recipe called Root for Mint recipe. And it's juice. It's a green juice with kale, with mint, with apples, with all kinds of stuff, using a juicer. So, I'm super excited about everything for the show today. Please, if you have any questions or comments, you want to say hello in the chat, please join the conversation in the chat. Always like a good combo. So, there's that. And let's see. Hello. Hello, William. Okay, so thank you for joining the show. Let's discuss mint. Okay, so what is mint? Mint is an aromatic herb plant. It comes from the Lamiaceae family, which we've done lots of episodes on other herbs in that family, such as lavender, sage, thyme, rosemary, oregano, basil, and mint. Now we will discuss mint. Mint is also known as great. Welcome to the show, William. Mint is also known as mentha, which is the Greek word, which brings us to where does mint come from? Well, it was originally growing in the eastern Mediterranean region around Greece, is my guess, because it's the Greek word for mint is mentha. And but now it started growing in other parts of the world, such as it became native to Eurasia, Europe and Asia, North America, Southern Africa, and Australia. Then it started growing all around the world. So the only place it doesn't grow is Antarctica. So anyway, that is the story of where it comes from. Let's see what else. So this is interesting. It gets its name from Greek mythology, apparently. The mythic nymph named Mintho. So apparently Mintho was having an affair with Pluto, the god of the underworld, and Persephone did not like this, so she turned mint into a small herb plant named now what we call mint. So that is the story I read about. So William, thank you for your question. This week we're going to be talking about mint, but there may be other weeks that we do go into more detailed topics like nutrition and depression. So thank you for the question. But yeah, today's topic is mint. I talk about a different food item each week on this show. Okay. So, mint grows, grows on all the continents except Antarctica. And mints typically grow near water, which is interesting. They like to be around pools of water, lakes, rivers, and cool, moist spots with partial shade, which is why they grow something, or that's why they grow really well, especially in the Pacific Northwest. It grows all year round because there's a lot of water out here. Let's see. And it needs some sun as well. So it does grow well in the summer here, but we do have it at our house all year round, which is really nice. We can go out into our yard and get mint for lots of different recipes. Our neighbors use our mint, so it grows well here. Okay, so some mint species can be invasive, taking over other plants, kind of taking over your whole garden area. So the recommendation is that you either plant it in deep, bottomless containers that are in the ground or put them in tubs or pots above ground. It is a favorite among gardeners because it grows so well and it grows so easily. Mint is best known for its refreshing qualities and that provide a cooling sensation. So a lot of toothpastes, a lot of gums, mouthwashes, breath mints, all that kind of stuff to refresh our mouths are often mint flavored. So, but yes, you can. So all the forms of mint fresh mint leaves. You can get dried mint. You can use mint for a tea. The dried leaves or fresh leaves. You can pour hot water over them to make mint tea. Or the essential oil of mint is used in other ways as well, which we will discuss later in the show. So there are lots of different varieties of mint. I'm going to talk about 4 different varieties right now. There's peppermint, there's spearmint, there's water mint, and there's wild mint. I did not know of those last 2. I pretty much just knew about the spearmint and the peppermint before I did my research. But spearmint can grow up to about 3 feet high, the plant. It has open spikes or little pink flowers, and the leaves it grows on a stalkless leaf. And that's mostly what we associate with mint, is that fragrance from spearmint. Then there's peppermint, which I'm assuming this is peppermint because first of all, peppermint is a hybrid between spearmint and water mint, which I did not know that. It has a heavy scent, stalked leaves, so these leaves are on a pretty sturdy stalk. Here, I have another one right here. There we go. And let's see. And it also has little reddish lilac flowers on the plant. Then there's water mint, which typically grows in ditches and has rounded flower spikes and stalked hairy leaves. Interesting. And then there's wild mint, which is native to North America and Eurasia. And that plant can also reach about 3.3 feet high. Excuse me. Hi, Kelly. I was just transitioning to the mint toothpaste from strawberry. He's getting used to. Oh, great. I have tried that with Joaquin, and he still does not like the mint quite yet. He still likes the bubblegum flavor. But thank you. Maybe when the kids get older, they like the mint better. So we'll use Ben as an example. But he likes the mint toothpaste. It is very refreshing. Very refreshing. Okay, so this is my favorite section of the episode today, the uses for mint, because mint is used in so many different ways. So, as we know, the leaves are very fresh, aromatic, cool. I'm going to take a taste of one because I just think they're so delicious. It's like you're chewing gum, but it's a leaf. Really, really good. Excuse me. So it's known for its cooling and refreshing sensation, which I would agree, and I'm glad that Ben agrees as well. And so in Middle Eastern cuisine, fresh mint is usually cooked with lamb and also used in yogurt sauces. In England, or in British cuisine, it's mint sauce that's used with lamb. And then in U.S. cuisine, in American cuisine, it's mint jelly used with lamb. Mint is also used in a lot of recipes in American cuisine, like fruit salads a lot of times have mint in them. There's mint chocolate chip ice cream, all kinds of different ways to have mint that we use in the U.S. Mint is sometimes used to make pesto in Italian cuisine. Mint, also called pudina, in Indian cuisine is used in curries and sauces and lots of other dishes. Mint is an ingredient in Tureg tea, which is a green tea with sugar and spearmint, and that's consumed in northern African and Arab countries. Of course, we add sugar to everything, right? I know, all of our dishes are mint plus sugar. That's totally true. And a lot of alcoholic, beverages also contain mint, like a mint julep. Those are delicious bourbon drinks. And then there are mojitos, which is rum with muddled mint, so delicious. And then there's the grasshopper, which, though I love mint chocolate chip ice cream. I do too. That was always my favorite growing up. Mint chocolate chip ice cream is pretty delicious. It's pretty delicious. I used to like the grasshopper Oreos or the grasshopper cookies with the chocolate cookie and the mint filling. That was always good. Speaking of grasshopper, another cocktail called the grasshopper is made with creme de menthe, which is a mint-flavored liqueur, and a white creme de cacao and cream, and that's shaken together and served like in a martini glass. I saw a picture of one. I saw a picture of a grasshopper cocktail, and I thought, whoa, that looks very, very filling, but interesting. Okay. So the substance that gives mint its smell and its flavor and its aroma is called menthol, which I'm sure we've all heard of. And mint essential oil and menthol are what they're used as flavorings for gums, toothpaste, air fresheners, or breath fresheners, mouth rinses, all that stuff. Gums, candies, desserts, all that kind of stuff. So it's usually the menthol or the mint essential oil that's used to flavor all of those products. And menthol and mint aromatherapy, or mint essential oil are also used in aromatherapy. Apparently, it is used as a post-surgery method to alleviate nausea, and it's also used to help with alertness. So I thought that was interesting. And the ancient Greeks rubbed mint on their arms because they thought that made them stronger, which I like that idea because they probably smelled really good. And mint was also originally used as a medicinal herb to treat stomach aches and chest pains. So, speaking of all of that, let's talk about the health benefits. I have 7 health benefits to discuss of mint. Lots of studies have been done with mint and menthol and mint tea and mint essential oils. So there's a lot of information out there about mint. I'm going to have another leaf because that was really good. I really recommend it. Next time anybody's over at our house, you can try some. Okay. So, number 1, health benefit. Mint is a good source of vitamin A, which is a fat-soluble vitamin, also has antioxidants in it, and it's good for our eye health. So we needed the vitamin A. Got that from mint. And other items that we talk about in other episodes, but today, mint is the topic. Okay, number 2, mint may help promote brain health and brain function. Very good things about that. So some studies have found that mint essential oil may have neuroprotective components, so protecting our brain, and may help with neurological disorders like anxiety and depression. There was another study done where they found that smelling peppermint enhanced memory and increased alertness, and that was smelling the mint essential oil. So they don't know if it's the same if you consume mint, but hey, why not try? Then, this is interesting. There was a study done that involved 144 volunteers, and they either smelled ylang ylang, which is another plant, or peppermint, or they smelled nothing. And the peppermint group had significantly improved memory, especially compared with the ylang ylang group who actually had decreased memory. So if you have to take a test or you have to remember a lot of things, don't smell ylang ylang before. So interesting. I didn't know that. I used to like that smell, but okay, there we go. Maybe you can smell it before bed. But mint helps improve our memory, so apparently. Okay, number 3. Mint is a source of a flavonoid, which is an antioxidant, named rosmarinic acid. So it's an antioxidant and also an anti-inflammatory. Helps fight all those free radicals, that chronic inflammation that might occur in our bodies. A study was done with rosmarinic acid, and they found that it improved asthma symptoms in animals. So that is kind of the anti-inflammatory component. Number 4, peppermint oil contains a compound called menthol. We already discussed that, which is thought to help alleviate IBS, irritable bowel syndrome symptoms, because it has a relaxing effect on the muscles of the digestive tract. Interesting. Speaking of which, reason number 5 that mint is healthy, peppermint may help relieve indigestion. Some studies show that food passes through our stomach quicker if you consume peppermint oil alongside it. I don't know how much peppermint oil was consumed in the meals. Probably need to talk to your doctor about that. But anyway, they say that it helped relieve indigestion because things are not in your stomach as long. Interesting, I thought. Number 6, menthol may help improve cold symptoms. So lots of interesting information about that. We know that there are a lot of remedies out there like ointments and vapor rubs that we rub on our chest or under our nose when we're sick, because the menthol is supposed to help with congestion as a nasal decongestant. There was a study done with 10 and 11-year-olds, and they used a nasal spray with either menthol in it or the placebo. The placebo had eucalyptus. And even though after they studied these kids, neither group had any physical improvement of the congestion. The congestion was about the same. But the menthol group had perceived improvement. So they all thought they were feeling better versus the placebo group. So, hey, if that works, great. Then your cold will be gone faster. So, anyway, that's interesting to think about. So, number 7, last but not least, peppermint may help with our breath, which we discussed. So there was a study done that found that peppermint, tea tree, and thyme, like thyme the herb, oil, all 3 of those separately, or together I guess if you wanted, but separately, could help reduce bacteria in the mouth, and that could help with our breath. So that's why we all, like chewing mint gum, mint toothpaste, all that stuff, because it helps refresh us. Sometimes it may just be that we're thinking it's refreshing, but it may also be doing something good in our mouth. Okay, so are there risks in consuming mint? Pretty low risk, unless you know that you have issues with all of the plants and herbs in the Lamiaceae family. So rosemary, basil, oregano, sage, what else? Lavender, thyme. All of those plants and herbs are in the same family. So if you think you have an issue with one of those, maybe you might have it with all of them. But that's about it. And then people with GERD, the gastroesophageal reflux disease, where you get reflux, indigestion a lot, they say that mint may make that worse if you have that condition. So otherwise, let's eat mint. How do we store mint? Fresh mint, a couple of different ways. You can wrap it in a damp towel, put it in a plastic bag in the refrigerator, or, and if you've watched my show before, you know my favorite way to do it, put it in a glass of water, put that in the refrigerator, keeps it nice and fresh. Dried mint is best if you keep it in like a jar, something that's sealed really well in a cool, dry place like the pantry, away from heat. We like to keep our herbs and oils away from heat so it doesn't go rancid. That's it. That is it for all of the information. Let's make some juice. Okay, so this juice, you can find the recipe on on relish.com. It's a Serious Eats recipe. And I'm really excited. I changed the recipe up just a little bit. because you know a lot of times I like to use what we have on hand. That's fine. So it's called root for mint. So I guess it's saying like root for mint, but also like there are root vegetables in this recipe too. So I think it's a play on words. So the original recipe, I'm going to name the ingredients, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today. So the original recipe is kale, parsnip, which we're not using, apple, lime, mint. So that's an interesting combo. I like the combo. So kale, parsnip, apple, lime, mint. Today, we are going to do something similar. I just wanted to do a lot of things we have on hand. So we have a lot of kale at our house. So we're going to definitely do the kale. And then I'm going to do celery instead of parsnip because we had some celery that was in major need of being juiced. So we're doing celery instead. I have lots of lemons on hand, so we're doing lemons instead of lime. We've got our apples. And of course, we have our mint. Okay, so let's prep everything first. So a great way to get leaves off of a stalk is to hold the top of the stalk and just pull them off like this. That's so easy. Okay, and then top and pull. And then you get them. Sometimes they fall on the ground too. Okay. I'm going to save this for the garnish of my juice because I think that will look really nice in the glass. Okay, so we've got mint. I'm going to take the leaves off the stalk. I could probably keep it on the stalk, I guess, but since we're just juicing, but I'll just do that because I actually like this method of taking the leaves off the stalk. I think it's really fun. Okay. Then, next, for lemons and limes and oranges, it's always important to cut the peel off so that you don't get bitter juice. So, I'm going to cut the peels off all the lemons. I have some lemons that I zested, but I didn't actually use them for the juice. So, I made a pear galette last week, and then I also made an apple galette last weekend. So delicious, and it called for lemon zest. So I have a lot of zested lemons, but see, I cut looks like the reflection is kind of weird, but I'm cutting the peels off of the lemons so that it's just nice and tangy versus bitter. We don't want bitter. Okay. I'm going to get these peels out of the way so that I can cut the apples. Okay. Excuse me for leaving the camera for a moment. Okay, and apples are super easy. You can just cut them in half. Yeah, half of an apple will fit in the juicer. So you can leave the seeds. The great thing about the catcher over here is that it catches all of the excess. So you don't have to worry about that. It looks really, really nice. Okay, so I collected a pretty good amount of kale. The recipe says to make 1 cup of kale juice from about 1.5 pounds of kale. Well, I know that this is definitely 1.5 pounds of kale, but I do not know if I'm going to get 1 cup of juice. So we're going to add water. So it's the kale juice is very, very concentrated. So, okay. And I'm going to plug this in. I didn't have it plugged in during the show because there's a flashing blue light, and I thought that might be a little bit annoying. So, can you see it? Oh yeah. That would have been like right over my head during the show. Okay. So, I have kale. I actually have some broccoli leaves too because we have some big broccoli plants, and we also have some cabbage plants. So we're doing a little bit of cabbage juice as well. Okay, thank you. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So I'm going to put a lot of kale in here so that I find that if there's a lot of pressure in there, then it juices combo to get the juice out of the mint. A lemon, 2 lemons. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit less cream in at one time. That worked. That was good. Almost done. Okay, apple, lemon, and mint left. Oh, and a piece of celery. This is exciting. My kitchen smells so good. Very, very refreshing over here. Okay, so if you have a juicer, you probably run into this as well. Once you take the little pitcher out from the side, it starts dripping. So I always put a little catcher right there. Okay, so I'm gonna dilute it just a little bit, with water. Okay, but this looks, here I'm gonna show you this first, but you'll see it better in the glass. Oh boy. Doesn't that look so good? This is just a glass of healthy, healthy juice. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip. Oh wow. That is really good. Really, really good. I feel healthy already. Ready for the afternoon. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the show. That recipe is called Root for Mint. Root for Mint! Okay, that light is blinking a lot. Here, I'm going to cover it with my arm. There we go. Mint is great for us. If you have it, eat it in all ways possible. There's so many good ways to consume mint. Thank you for joining the show. Try this recipe if you have a juicer. I'll see you again next week. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye everybody. Thanks for joining in the conversation.